Every few years, the world seems to discover another outbreak, another emergency, another disease racing across headlines. It feels almost like pandemics are speeding up. Yet our grandparents often describe entire decades without hearing those words every single day. So is humanity suddenly becoming unlucky? Or are we accidentally building the perfect conditions for viruses to keep finding us? The answer is far more fascinating than a simple yes or no. And once you see the pattern, today's headlines start looking less random than they first appear. The first thing to understand is that pandemics are not new. They have shaped civilizations for thousands of years. The Black Death transformed Europe. Smallpox devastated populations across continents. Influenza swept through nations repeatedly. COVID-19 simply became the pandemic most people alive today experience together. History is filled with outbreaks. The difference is that we now notice every signal almost instantly. Imagine living in America during the 17th century. A disease might spread through one colony, yet people hundreds of miles away could remain unaware for weeks. Today, a doctor uploads unusual laboratory results. Scientists compare genetic sequences across continents, and millions learn about the situation before breakfast. Better surveillance creates the impression that outbreaks appear more often because we detect events that earlier generations never recorded. That explanation matters, but it is only part of the story. Some factors genuinely increase the chances that dangerous diseases will emerge. The biggest surprise is that many future pandemics may begin long before anyone gets sick. Viruses constantly circulate among wildlife. Most never infect humans. Many cannot survive inside our bodies. But every day, countless opportunities allow microbes to experiment. A bat, a bird, a pig, or another animal carries a virus. That animal encounters people directly or indirectly. Most encounters lead nowhere. Occasionally, a virus mutates just enough to cross the species barrier. Scientists call many of these diseases zoonotic because they originate in animals before spreading to humans. HIV, Ebola, influenza, SARS, MERS, and COVID-19 all involve animal origins or animal reservoirs somewhere along their evolutionary path. Nature is constantly running millions of tiny biological experiments. Most fail quietly. We only notice the rare successes. Now add modern civilization to that equation. The global population has passed 8 billion people. Cities have expanded into forests. Roads reach places once isolated. Agriculture has intensified. Wildlife habitats shrink. Humans and animals meet more frequently than before. Every additional encounter becomes another opportunity for pathogens to test new hosts. Think about airports. A century ago, crossing the Atlantic took days by ship. Today, someone infected without symptoms can board a morning flight and land across the ocean before realizing they are contagious. Air travel does not create viruses. It simply gives them premium transportation. This is one reason outbreaks that once remained local can become international surprisingly quickly. A virus no longer needs extraordinary abilities. It only needs enough time before symptoms appear and enough travelers moving between connected cities. Climate also plays an important supporting role. Rising temperatures and changing rainfall patterns influence where mosquitoes, ticks, and other disease-carrying organisms survive. Some regions now experience insects that were once limited to warmer climates. That does not automatically create pandemics, but it changes the map of disease risk and gives certain pathogens new territory to explore. Another piece of the puzzle hides inside hospitals and medicine cabinets.
Every unnecessary use of antibiotics gives resistant bacteria another chance to outsmart treatments that once saved millions of lives. Antibiotic resistance is different from viral pandemics because antibiotics fight bacteria, not viruses. However, resistant infections create a growing public health challenge. Bacteria evolve quickly. When antibiotics are overused or misused, the toughest bacteria survive and multiply. Eventually, common treatments become less effective. It is evolution happening in real time.
Ironically, human success also contributes to the feeling that pandemics happen more frequently. Medical advances keep more people alive with chronic illnesses. Populations are older than ever. Millions have conditions affecting their immune systems.
Diseases that might once have burned out more quietly can now threaten larger vulnerable populations, requiring careful protection. Then there is information itself. Social media spreads updates faster than any virus spreads physically. During every outbreak, reliable science competes with rumors, fear, conspiracy theories, and misleading headlines. Sometimes people feel surrounded by disease simply because they are surrounded by notifications. That psychological effect is powerful. Our brains naturally remember dramatic events better than ordinary days. If 3 unusual diseases appear over several years, they dominate memory while thousands of routine public health successes receive little attention. Safe drinking water, vaccination programs, sanitation systems, and disease surveillance quietly prevent countless outbreaks that never become front-page news.
In other words, humanity is winning thousands of invisible battles every single day. Scientists worldwide continuously monitor influenza strains, sequence new viruses, develop vaccines, investigate mysterious illnesses, and share information across borders. During COVID-19, researchers identified the virus remarkably quickly and produced effective vaccines in record time using decades of previous research. That achievement did not eliminate every challenge, but it demonstrated how much faster science now responds compared with previous generations. Does this mean pandemics will continue happening? Most experts believe new outbreaks are inevitable because evolution never stops. Microbes reproduce continuously. Ecosystems change. Human societies remain deeply connected. The important question is not whether another emerging disease will appear someday. The real question is how prepared communities will be when it does. Preparation rarely looks exciting. It means investing in laboratories before emergencies begin, supporting disease surveillance, protecting healthcare workers, preserving wildlife habitats when possible, improving ventilation in crowded buildings, encouraging vaccination where evidence supports it, communicating uncertainty honestly instead of pretending every answer already exists. These steps may sound ordinary, yet history repeatedly shows that ordinary preparation often prevents extraordinary disasters. There is another lesson hidden beneath all this science. Pandemics are not simply biological events. They reveal how connected humanity has become. A virus does not recognize political parties, national borders, income levels, or internet arguments. Biology ignores those categories completely. The encouraging part is that cooperation spreads too. Researchers share genetic data. Doctors exchange treatment strategies. Engineers improve diagnostic tools. Communities organize support for vulnerable neighbors. Every outbreak reminds us that knowledge travels just as fast as fear when people choose to share it. So, are pandemics really becoming more frequent? The evidence suggests a nuanced answer. Better detection certainly makes outbreaks more visible. At the same time, urbanization, global travel, environmental change, and closer human-animal contact likely increase opportunities for new diseases to emerge. It is not one single cause. It is many trends overlapping at once. Once you recognize that pattern, today's headlines become less mysterious. They stop looking like random disasters and start looking like warning lights on a dashboard. Warning lights are not there to frighten drivers. They exist to help prevent a much bigger problem. The same idea applies to public health. The sooner we notice the signal, the better our chances of keeping the next outbreak from becoming the next pandemic.